we cover the issues that are relevant to our viewers' lives. Now with more, here's Tony Iannelli.
Welcome back to our program, a very special one-on-one with Hillary Rodham Clinton. Senator, thank you so much for being with us today.
It's
great
a pleasure.
to have you here today. Senator, I wanted to just mention this morning, 5 to 6 points ahead in the polls. I've noticed in watching your interviews and on TV and your rallies, you seem to be on a roll. Is there a renewed energy in the camp, or is that an overstatement to say that?
Well, Tony, I'm just having such a great time campaigning across Pennsylvania. I feel so much at home here, and people have been incredibly positive. But I think it's also because, you know, starting from that debate on Wednesday night, people have really seen there's a clear choice. Who has the leadership, the experience, and the strength to tackle the tough problems we face? And Pennsylvanians are responding because they know we've got a lot of problems facing us, and we need somebody who can get into that Oval Office, be our commander-in-chief to protect us, and be our president to turn the economy around.
That's a very good point. I wanted to touch on the debate. I mean, you clearly, this isn't just my opinion, Boston Globe, several other, and many of the newspapers across this country, you clearly won the debate, if you will. What do you think happened? Is it now, is Senator Obama now getting the tough questions? And in fact, did he fold under that pressure?
Well, Tony, I've gotten tough questions for a lot of years,
yeah,
and it kind of comes with the territory.
Yes.
And I think that it's important in a campaign that is going to choose the next president of the United States that everybody be held to the same standards and that everybody get the same level of questioning by the press. That happened on Wednesday. And it also was an opportunity for us to answer some very difficult questions about what we're going to do concerning Iran, how we're going to handle the economy. And I think in both of those arenas, you could see that, you know, I have a lot of years of experience. I know exactly what I'm getting into. I understand that everything we want to do, from turning the economy around to withdrawing from Iraq to rebuilding the middle class and every other important goal for America, is not going to happen just by hoping for it. You really have to know how to roll up your sleeves and get to work.
Would you say his experience came to the forefront based on that? That more aggressive question?
I think that people got to see a very clear choice between the two of us. And clearly we each bring our respective experiences and qualifications. That's who we are. But I've been saying from the very beginning that I think that I am best positioned to defeat John McCain in the fall, and I believe that I would be a better president for the kind of challenges that America faces right now.
Senator, I'm going to get to the major issues, but very quick on the local end and the regional end, if you will. Mm-hmm. You certainly have the support, and most recently at the rally, I saw the 3 mayors of this Lehigh Valley County Executive Don Cunningham, who's a potential gubernatorial candidate, endorses you and was very much behind you. And equally, the governor, Governor Rendell. And Governor Rendell was on my show a few weeks ago. And we talked about the alignment, his close relationship with you and your initiatives. Question I wanted to ask is, does the governor, it sounds like the governor would be interested in some sort of post within a cabinet post within your administration. I know it's early to say that, but is it safe to say that Pennsylvanians will see Ed Rendell in a major role?
Well, I would give Ed Rendell the greatest consideration for anything in our country, because he is a visionary, effective leader. You don't often find that in the same sentence. You often see people being one or the other, but with Governor Rendell, he was a great mayor of Philadelphia. He's been a superb governor of the Commonwealth here in Pennsylvania, and he has really tackled the hard problems. You know, he doesn't stand on the sidelines and just talk about how we have to have things happen, or say, oh, if only I had a president in the White House, here's what I would do. He rolls up his sleeves and he gets to work. Part of the reason we relate so well to each other is we are both problem solvers. We got into politics to solve problems. You know, we don't need the celebrity. We don't need all of the hoop-de-doo that goes with it. We want to figure out, okay, what are we going to do to get jobs going? What are we going to do to get health care for everyone? What are we going to do to move us off our dependence on foreign oil? That's what Ed and I talk about. You know,
so it's not about showmanship. It's about solving issues for this country.
It's about results. And as I've traveled across Pennsylvania, I have seen with my own eyes what Ed Rendell has meant to this state. And everywhere I go, it'll happen again here in Bethlehem. When he's introduced, tremendous response. When I mention his name, lots of applause. People know he gets up every day and works his heart out for them.
It was interesting when on Fox News I was watching this morning, and one of their political analysts was really saying that he would be the ideal vice presidential candidate. You're not willing to give me a scoop and say, if nominated, he is your selection, right?
Well, it's pretty presumptuous of me to do that,
Sure.
Tony, because I don't have the nomination wrapped up. But suffice it to say that with Ed Rendell's track record of accomplishment, he is more than suitable for any important position in America.
Senator, in a little limited time we have, I want to talk about the economy. And I know when your husband left office, we had a large reserve and we had some serious money, and that has changed into a deficit. We've had unprecedented growth. The question I want to ask you, a lot of people that maybe are conservative Republicans and Democrats want to maybe sometimes paint you as tax-friendly and maybe not economic, not good for the economy. I think you've got a track record that can challenge that. Could you talk about that?
I sure will. Well, it really starts with my late father, who was a Pennsylvanian, born and raised in Scranton, played football at Penn State, by the way, and he was someone who believed, look, you worked for everything you had and you lived within your means. That's the way I was raised. That's what I believe. I was very proud of the work my husband did to get us to a balanced budget and a surplus. And I was dismayed at seeing what George Bush has done. He has been probably the most reckless big government spender that we've ever had as president. He won't pay for the war in Iraq. He won't pay for the tax cuts for the wealthiest. He just basically has driven our country into a deep deficit and into a huge debt. So what are we going to do about it? Well, if I'm the president, we're going to start turning that around. We're going to get back to fiscal responsibility. We will not do anything that we don't pay for in the federal government. And as to taxes, I think it's laughable for this Republican administration to be pointing fingers at any Democrat over either taxes or spending. Now, if you're among the wealthy and the well-connected in America, maybe you think that's great. But if you're part of the vast majority of Americans, you have gotten a pittance in tax breaks from this administration. Your energy costs have gone up, your healthcare costs, your gas prices at the pump, everything has increased while George Bush has taken care of his, friends, allies, and cronies. So we're going to fix that when I'm president.